Hello, and thank you for watching this August 24th weather update, brought to you by Agrible, the makers of Morning Farm Report. My name is Eric Snodgrass, and I am a senior atmospheric scientist and co-founder of Agrible. As we approach harvest, it is important to take a look at how yields are likely shaping up globally. The map you see here is a satellite-derived vegetation health index. Essentially, the higher the value, the better the crop condition. While satellite observations have their limitations, this product gives us a sense of where crops are likely to be doing well and where weather has had a negative impact. As we have talked about for most of the summer, much of the United States bean and corn crop is in great shape. A relatively cool summer with plenty of precipitation has made for a great growing season for all but parts of Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Ohio, and Kentucky, where too much precipitation will significantly impact yields. Turning our attention to China first, the image in the upper right shows the primary growing regions for corn. The Vegetative Health Index indicates that some regions are performing much better than others. Heat stress in the last month, combined with some patchy dryness, has reduced yields. We can see from the bottom figures that parts of China's major growing region surrounding the Bohai Sea have been dry. China, however, has been planting more and more acres of corn each year, and as a result, even though yields have taken a hit this year, total planted acreage is up, which means the total production will likely be very high. In Europe, heat stress has been the story this summer. Although production is comparatively small when looking at Spain and France, these two countries have had significant issues with excessive heat. However, in Europe, Ukraine is the dominant player for corn production. According to the USDA, the major corn-producing regions are in the central and eastern parts of the country, and for the most part, this region has avoided significant water stress. However, drought has a firm grip on the western parts of Ukraine as well as parts of Poland and smaller countries to its west and south. The combination of heat and drought will likely take its toll of crop production for Europe's major growing regions. Finally, looking at conditions in South America leading into their spring planting season, only northern parts of Brazil have been abnormally dry over the last 3 months. As we have pointed out in previous videos, we expect Brazil to have another decent year for yields due to the positive correlation between yields in this part of the world and El Nino. Well, coming back to the United States, August has been a favorable month for most of the Corn Belt, as temperatures for the first 22 days have been near average or slightly cooler than average. In terms of precipitation, the past 30 days have been very wet for portions of the Farm Belt, stretching from South Dakota through Minnesota and western Iowa into parts of Missouri. However, in Iowa, Minnesota, and South Dakota, corn can handle this amount of rain at this time of year. Even though parts of Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Ohio look dry, there have been regular rain events, and most regions have not seen dry stretches lasting longer than 5 to 7 days. These same regions are on average 1/2 to 1 1/2 inches drier than their normal 30-day averages for August. What is concerning, though, is that the next 10 days are forecast to be quite dry across large sections of the Corn Belt. Shown here is the 10-day accumulation of precipitation, and we can see that with the exception of the rain event that arrives in parts of South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota at the end of this week, most of the Corn Belt will be dry. As corn is not as reliant on rainfall at this time of year, it should finish well, but soybeans need some precipitation at the end of August to finish strong. Thankfully, the drier conditions are not forecast to be accompanied by any extreme heat in the near term. Temperatures through the end of this week will be quite pleasant across the Corn Belt. Overnight temperatures in the northern states will dip into the 40s, but at this point we are not forecasting temperatures to drop much below that for these northern states in the Corn Belt. I will update you on any potential risk for an early frost starting in my video updates in September. However, as we can see in this animation though, warmer conditions arrive toward the end of the week and will likely stay warmer than average through the weekend and into early next week. To finish this video, we need to be watching the tropics closely this time of year, as tropical systems can bring significant precipitation to parts of the Corn Belt. As we have discussed, tropical cyclone activity is forecast to be heavily suppressed this year due to El Nino, but in the last week, things have started to heat up, just as they should for this time of year. Tropical Storm Danny has been the focus for several days now, and we can see that in this satellite animation, Danny has weakened significantly in the last 48 hours. 2 days ago, Danny was a Cat 3 hurricane, but strong wind shear and intrusions of dry air have really weakened this system. Thankfully, Danny is forecast to pass over the Lesser Antilles and bring much-needed rain to many of the drought-stricken islands, especially Puerto Rico. Behind Danny, we are watching another area of disturbed weather in the tropics that might have the potential to become our next named tropical system of the year. The National Hurricane Center gave this system an 80% chance of forming over the next 5 days. Current model forecasts have this next tropical system staying out in the Atlantic, though, and not impacting the United States. However, we will watch this system closely as it evolves and its forecast track changes. Finally, there was major concern earlier this week about the potential landfall of Tropical Depression Kilo in Hawaii, which is forecast to become a hurricane in the next few days. However, Kilo's latest track has now shifted west, and instead of causing major problems for Hawaii, Kilo will likely just create ideal surfing conditions. Well, as always, we at Agrible will bring you the latest and best weather information through our morning farm report so that you can efficiently plan your operations. We thank you for your attention and hope you look forward to our next weather video update. Thank you.